刺客信条奥德赛发现古希腊第2期，希腊女性的生活。
Welcome to Corinth, Wanderer. I have a special visit planned for you today. It's an intimate, informative look into the daily lives of Greek women. It's amazing what women could accomplish while men spent all day trying to out-debate each other at assembly meetings. Their work should be far more appreciated on the whole, but we're going to acknowledge that now. Corinth was one of the largest cities in ancient Greece. It had an estimated population of 90,000 in my times, and much of that population was made up of women. This tour will shine a light on those women and look at how they lived on a day-to-day basis. Look for me when you're done with your visit, and we can discuss things further.
开始旅游，希腊女性的
Young
生活。
girls growing up in ancient Greek cities were usually raised by a nurse. They mostly stayed in the women's quarters of the house, the gunaikon, where they spent their time spinning threads and weaving. While there is not much historical evidence of young girls at play, especially compared to boys, it was still known to happen. For example, an ancient terracotta group depicts 2 girls playing ephedrismos. This was a competition to see who could strike an upright rock from afar using a
这个是
pebble
女
or
孩
ball.
子，
The game's loser had to close their eyes and carry the victor until they managed to touch the same rock with their hands.
这个是女孩子，怎么光头了？这个这么小就无氪啦？这么小就秃了？这也太猛了吧！这我变秃了，也变强了。我靠，这头！我靠，这头真的是亮啊！这个，我们去下一个目的地，下一个旅游景点。
For a young Greek woman, marriage was the culmination of their induction into society. The average life expectancy for women was about 40 years, so most marriages took place when the bride was 14 or 15 years old. The marriage did not require her consent either. Instead, she was passed on from the protection of her father to that of her husband. Married women were not technically citizens at the time and lacked the rights that came with official citizenship. However, they did receive a dowry that only they were allowed to spend. But in the event of a failed marriage, the dowry was returned to the bride's father. After the marriage was consummated, the woman's status changed from being a maiden to a bride. She remained a bride until the birth of her first child, wherein she officially became a woman.
哇，这也太苦了吧！女人是男人的附庸。哎呀，这个陋习。这个女的怎么长得那么凶啊？感觉。
For a young Greek woman, marriage was the culmination of...
哎呀，不想听这东西。我们去下一个展点。儿童，这不是刚才那2个吗？怎么还没有头发？还是刚才那2个小鬼。
Women living in ancient Greek cities were essentially forbidden from participating in political life, and most aspects of their lives were controlled by men. Their most important responsibilities were running the household and giving birth to children, preferably boys. Most of the time, women's excursions outside of the house were limited to visiting other female neighbors, as per custom. The few exceptions to this strict rule were weddings, funerals, and religious festivals involving women in prominent public roles.
这个重男轻女，还是生男孩最好。哎呀，古代都是这样子的。
Making textiles was the main occupation of most Greek women. It was a woman's responsibility to manufacture clothing for each of her family members, as well as to weave other household textiles. Women with exceptional weaving skills were believed to make excellent wives, and weaving in general was seen as a very attractive quality. For example, Homer describes Odysseus's devoted wife Penelope as spending most of her days weaving at the loom. Similarly, many Greek vases depicting women weaving were combined with images of a woman holding a veil, which was seen as the symbol of a bride. Ancient Greek women cooked in their house's kitchen area. However, since their cooking equipment was small and portable, they also sometimes prepared meals in the central courtyard. This was also where women performed other domestic activities. These activities were rarely seen by visiting men or passers-by, because the architecture of classical Greek houses facilitated the social norm that women should never be seen at work.
厨艺了得。嘿，姐，你在干什么呢？哎，怎么第一人称不行啊？我想换第一人称看一下的。这音乐挺好听的，嘿嘿。
The historian Strabo relays that the Temple of Aphrodite was one of Corinth's most famous landmarks. This was largely due to the temple's female patrons. These hetairai, as they were called, were donated to the goddess by both men and women. According to Strabo, the Temple of Aphrodite contributed greatly to Corinth's wealth. The hetairai were the temple's main attraction, and many visitors came to Corinth in search of their company, for which they spent frequently and frivolously.
交际花，说好听点是交际花，说难听点是那个，是不是？嘿嘿。
Hello again, Wanderer. I hope your visit was an interesting one. Greek women lived very restricted lives compared to men, but throughout it all, they held on to their strength and dignity. Is there anything else you'd
我
like
了解，我了解。我要回答问题了，我准备好回答问题了。
Excellent. Let's begin with an easier question. What was the name of the women's quarters in a Greek home?
闺房。
Correct. The gynekon was where young girls spent their days weaving and spinning threads. On to the next question. The Corinthian temple said to employ the Hetera was dedicated to which god?
我可是认真听讲啦。这个应该是
Correct.
第一个。
Aphrodite was the goddess of love and passion, so it's only fitting her temple served such an amorous purpose. We're almost done. Just one more question. What was the name of Odysseus' wife?
哎，这个有点忘记了。
Yes, Penelope
我
was
靠，我随便
Odysseus'
选的也
royal
中。
wife who kept at her weaving while waiting for her husband to return from war. You passed the
我
test,
随便
Wanderer.
我随便选的都
Congratulations.
没别的事了。
Then farewell, Wanderer, and thank you for visiting this great place.
谢谢。好，本集结束，拜拜。